Where's Delaware? Delaware.
Hi, we're the Care Kids.
Our parents are crazy. They want to take us on a year-long trip.
They call it an empathy expedition.
We're traveling the states to discover what makes us united.
50 states and 52 weeks.
And I saw you, 'cause I wanna be like the wind. I wanna run with you. Oh, we can be wolves, howling at the great white moon. I wanna be by your side when we light up the sky for the world to see. Run, 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 run with me.
What do you think an age for Delaware?
Rehoboth, I'm probably not pronouncing it right. Rehoboth Beach. Looks awesome too. It's a cool beach. And then the Hagley Museum and Library sounds cool too. So there's a lot of cool stuff.
While we were in Delaware, we had the opportunity to go to the Hagley Museum and learn about the DuPont family.
One of the beautiful things about traveling year-round like this is that we hit a lot of places off-season. We were probably one of, I don't know, maybe 15 people on the property that entire day. So we got so much personal attention from the tour guides. It was fantastic.
Okay, I'm going to have you stand up here. You get up here, okay? I'm going to have you move over a little bit to the right. I'm going to have you move it this way. Just make sure your head's back a little bit. So this is an apprentice tool. You are now earning 5 cents an hour.
The DuPont Museum is so interesting. The grounds are beautifully preserved and the tour guides walk you through the process of making gunpowder. The DuPont family was known far and wide for their process of making gunpowder and their precision in making gunpowder that fired better than anyone else's.
In fact, it was interesting when we were in Pennsylvania, Gettysburg, we learned that part of the reason why the North won and the South lost was because of the gunpowder, the quality of gunpowder that the North had in their arsenal, and that all came from Delaware and the DuPonts.
They knew that explosions were inevitable here because it's the first time in the process when the ignition potential is reached, and if this was all done under one roof, that would have been catastrophic. That side facing the river was kept open, maybe a leather tarp or a cloth to keep the rain and the wind out. The roof was made of light material. There are 3 massive walls on each of these buildings. The way that these were designed and built was to focus the main part of the blast that way, over the river. Nobody lived over there. Even the turtles stayed in their shells over there, it said.
So one thing that was really interesting about that whole gunpowder factory is that if you worked in the factory, you lived on site as well, and your family lived there. During that time period, the way that a family worked, you didn't send your kids off to school, you were together all the time. While the DuPonts were doing that, they decided, it was important for the kids to get some sort of education. Sunday was the only day that people had work off. And so they would send them to Sunday school. Sunday school during that time period was literally school. They would go there and they would read, and they would learn how to read, and they would learn how to write. And a lot of the reading was from the Bible, because that was one of the few texts that was published that everyone had access to. And so that was kind of where the term Sunday school came from. That's what made the DuPont factory so unique, is that you were part of this organization, a part of this family almost. You lived there, you worked there, and your wife probably worked in the area, and you farmed there. Everything happened in this little area.
Let's see what we've got. 5 seconds on this view. 5, 4, 3, 2. Gunpowder! That's DuPont powder. The museum was fascinating because it took you all the way from the gunpowder process and factories
all the way up until, modern times when the DuPonts and their legacy of scientists have created so many amazing technologies like nylon and Teflon and Dacron and all the other crons you can imagine. But yeah, I didn't realize how many fibers and synthetic fabrics and coatings and different things like that the DuPonts have created.
Yeah, I mean everything from things that go into space to things that go on your pan to paints.
Of course, there was the huge revolution in fabrics, which that was fun to see. All the women, from the late 40s and 50s who were having to iron all their cotton clothing, then all of a sudden the DuPonts came out with, dun dun dun, nylon.
One thing that you learn when you're in an RV full time is that you don't have all the amenities of home inside. So we get to go to a lot of laundromats, and sometimes that's a benefit, like it was in Delaware. Mm-hmm. In Delaware, while we were doing our laundry, I came in, I was sitting next to a lady. I told her a little bit about what we're doing, and she goes, "You have got to meet my son. You need to meet my son."
So we did.
Who didn't go yet? Jamal, you know the way to go? Push, you go, come on, you go.
I'm Andre Wilburn. Most people know me as Coach Dre. I'm the assistant men's basketball coach at Wilmington University. I'm also the co-owner of NBN Sports Academy. From gym to gym, this is my life. NBN stands for nothing but net, but we're not just a gym, we're a sports academy. So we teach the kids from the ground up everything as far as basketball, as far as life.
My name is Lonnie Wright, and I am co-owners with Andre Wilburn in the Nothing But Net Sports Academy.
At NBN, we have our 5 pillars. We call it the Reed's Way.
So our cores are respect, effort, attitude, dedication, and sportsmanship.
You could take those 5 pillars and take them on the court, off the court. They're still good things to live by.
That's what we think you need just to go along through life. If you're passionate about something and you're dedicated to something, it will reward itself.
We actually, before we found our space, we rented a church that had a gymnasium in it, and we ran a summer program, a summer league, and we had about 80 kids. We came over here and opened this gym up. We have close to 300 kids, and we have a waiting list. I believe if you build it, they'll come, and that's kind of what we did. We built it, we put the program together, turned the lights on, and they're coming.
Push, let's go! Push, come on!
We try to be the program that was needed when we were children. No matter what's going on here in the world, no matter who's in charge, no matter what's happening, programs like this is needed.
Wilmington's at an alarming rate of killing young men and women. Alarming rate. These kids don't have anywhere to go. They don't have anywhere to turn. I was fortunate enough where I had a mom and a dad. My boys and my daughter are fortunate enough where they have a mom and a dad. And a lot of these kids, Dre and I are their role models. Dre and I, we always joke and we say we have 200 kids. During the summer, Dre and I would do this, and after our games, we'd have 10 kids that would stick around and ask, "Hey, Coach Lonnie, can we come to your house?" Or "Coach Dre, can we hang out with you?" or something. And again, it's just, it gives them something else.
This business, this organization was built off of family. My partner Lonnie, he's a big family guy. I'm a big family guy. So even a lot of discussions we have about this, it's amongst family. So we'll sit down at the dinner table and it'll be about 15 people in the room and we'll bounce ideas off. And
this is truly a family-owned business. Dre and I are the owners. My wife and his sister work our concession stand. His mom is in charge of the restaurant. My son, his cousin, and dad are all coaches. My dad is in charge of the school board, and he does financials for us.
This has to be a family environment.
That it gives the kids a chance to see, here are 2 young African-American males, and they're doing something positive. They're not out on the streets, they're not out doing something that they shouldn't be, they're doing something right.
Here at NBN, school is first.
If you're not doing the things you need to do in the classroom, well, you can't come here. And we're not just talking about academics, because we know, some kids, they're doing the best and they're just C students. But as long as they're trying.
because we believe basketball doesn't dribble until you get done what you have to do in the classroom. So it's two things that come before basketball here. You have to respect your parents and do what you have to do at home. You have to respect your teachers and do what you have to do at school. Then we can open the doors and let you play basketball and let you have some fun. And we have a family here, multiple children. And we didn't know at the time the parents were on drugs or addicted to drugs, or fighting that, I should say. And the grandmother was stepped in and was taking care of the children. And she wrote us an email telling us how much she loves the program because it gave her grandchildren something to do, something positive to be a part of, and it kind of got their mind off of what they were dealing with at home. And they're here. They're here almost as much as us. Even when they're not playing, they're just here. They're part of the family. But I truly believe that we're a program that everyone needs to know about.
If we can take the gun out of their hand and put the basketball or a book in their hands, they'll be just fine. They'll be just fine.
What is it?
It's a horseshoe crab.
Is it alive?
No.
What does it look like?
It's kind of creepy and gross.
Flip it over, let me see the top.
There's like thorns everywhere.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it looks like it wants to stab you.
Some of them are really, really big, and some of them are really, really small. This one is tiny. It's like a newborn.
John Dickinson. Yeah, and called the penman of the Revolution. His founding father's writings encouraged America independence. There were horseshoe crabs that we saw. They were horseshoe crabs.
The little cute ones?
Yeah, the little ones like that. See, horseshoe crabs.
Oh yeah, they were so cute.